Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to learn one of the most important hook in React, the use effect hook. If you have wondered what is use effect, why do we use it, when does it run, what is a dependency array, why does everyone get confused about it, then this is the video for you. Instead of just explaining theory, we'll build a beautiful counter application and use it to understand everything about use effect. So let's jump right in. So the step one is to create a state. Let's create a counter using use state hook. So we would have to first import our use state. Use this. And here let's const. So here the count stores the current value and set count updates the value and let's initially store the value of our count as 0. Use state. Alright, so let's display our count in a s2 tag. Mm, okay. And create 3 buttons. Button 1 for the increment, another for the reset, and third one for decrease. And let's create an event here. On click, what we want to do, we want to increase the count. So set state count plus 1. So here what we want to do, we want to set the count 0. So on click would be, and our set count will be 0. On click, and here we have to decrease our count, so count minus 0. Sorry, count minus 1. Oh, our counter is working perfectly here, but we are not using use effect yet. So our step 2 is, what is use effect? Now suppose every time the counter changes, we want to perform another task, maybe updating the browser title, save data, call an API, or print something in the console. These are called side effects. A side effect means doing something other than rendering the UI. Rendering means showing buttons, text, and components. Side effects are the extra operations. React gives us the use effect hook to perform the operations. And the syntax looks like, first we have to import it. use effect, and the syntax looks something like this. So it takes two things. First, a callback function, and another is the dependency array. Let's understand both. Okay, let's write some code in our use effect. So I'll just do a console log of count updated. Whenever my count will get changed. Let us see what is happening in our browser. Okay, let's click any button. Did you notice something? Every time the count changes, React prints count updated in the console. Why? Because our dependency array contains count. Whenever count changes, React executes this callback. Now let's do something even cooler. Instead of printing inside the console, let's update the browser tab title. How are we going to do this? By doing document dot title is equal to, we are going to use template literals. So our counter is equal to counter count, and in our dependency array it is already count written. Okay, look at the browser now. Let's click increase. It 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 is changing instantly. See, increase, decrease. This is the this is one of the best real life example of use effect. The UI changes because of speed. The browser title changes because of use effect. Now comes the important topic, the dependency array. There are three possibilities. First uh, first our dependency array would be empty, and let us give a simple example of console login. This will run once. Just bear with me, you will understand. So this will run only once after the component load. Let me just refresh the page and you'll get to see. It will only run once. Even if I tab on the buttons, it is not going to console log because the dependency array was empty. This is preferred. This is preferred for an API call. In case 2, we'll see what will happen when there is no dependency array. First of all, remove our dependency array. and console log. So what will happen if there is no dependency array? Uh, it will run in every render. You'll see it live. It will run every render. Oh, this is our browser. I'm loading it, and it will run every render. So this means after every render, the effect executes. If your components render 10 times, the effect runs 10 times. Usually we don't want this. So in the third case, we'll put something in the dependency array. We'll put the count in the dependency array, and let us console. It is going to so if we will put something in the dependency array, that means it is going to change whenever that particular dependency will get changed. If the count will get changed, the component will get rendered. So it is, let us log, it runs when count changes. It's going to run. Whenever the count will change, whenever the count will change, it is going to render. So if the count changes, the effect runs. If another state changes, this doesn't the effect won't run. And this is the most common usage. Okay. Let's click on plus button, reset, or even decrease. Every time the count changes, React prints count updated in the console. Why? Because our dependency array contains count. Even when the count changes, React let's understand React thinking. Initially, the count is 0. After rendering, React changes the dependency array. Has the count changed? Yes. So it executes a callback. Now we click on the plus button. Count becomes 1. React renders again. Again, React checks, did the count change? Yes. Run the callback again. And the entire logic. React always compare the previous dependency values with the current value. If they are different, the effect runs. In React, what people most of the time does is they call the API without dependency arrays. If if we will call APIs without dependency array, in every render calls the API again. So never do this. Instead, use an empty dependency array. Mistake number 2: adding unnecessary dependencies. Only include the values that your effect actually uses. And mistake number 3: thinking use effect runs before rendering. It doesn't. React first renders the UI, Only only then does useEffect executes. That's why it's called effect after rendering. So this is how my UI is looking after adding the CSS. I'm not going to waste the time to type CSS over here, but this is how my component is looking. Let us recap what we have learned. So remember these three rules. Empty dependency array runs once. No dependency array runs after every render. Dependency array with variables runs only when those variables are changed. That's all there is to understand useEffect. Only once you understand this dependency array, almost every useEffect question becomes easy. Congratulations! You now know what useEffect is, why it's used, how dependency array works, and how React decides when to execute and use an effect. In next video, we'll learn how to fetch API data using useEffect and build a real-world application. If this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in comments what React topic you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.